Okay. What? Oh god, did that get broadcast? Oh no. Me telling everybody to be quiet got broadcast.
It happens though. Can you guys hear the thrush outside? Shut up.
No, we can't.
I figured.
It's being cancelled by noise cancellation.
Good, yeah, because I mean, yeah, he is it the male thrushes that make the nest or the female thrushes? Hang
Fuck
on.
if I know! You're asking me about thrushes!
Oh no. I'll say this right though. Thrushes, they're assholes, right? They're twats.
Okay.
He gets all fucking up at the window and he like tries to like peck through the window and stuff like that. So he had to put like a cuddly toy of a cat. And that worked for a while, but then he's realised it's just a cuddly toy and doesn't do anything. So he started doing it again. So yeah. I don't like him very much. I don't like it when a garden animal is smarter than me. I don't.
Right. I mean, we've gone live now, so we should probably like.
Everyone knows of your crimes of the thrush now.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I gotta put him on blast. You know, this is a call-out post for the thrush in my garden. He's a fucking asshole.
Right, yes. So, welcome everybody to the Game of Bards Friends of Muzema session 3. With me are my co-host Beth and friends of the show Matt, Maxie, and Richard, with Citro from the previous episodes on her way. She is held up. I, of course, am Alexa. Delete all my unread emails that are older than 6 months. And I will be your DM tonight. You may notice that we have a different setup from last episode. I have finally found out that Discord have they have a thing for this, and we are now using the thing. So hopefully what that means is that I should be able to, if I need to, click around Discord without screwing everything up. So yeah, no, it's right there, and you can see whoever is online just in a big tall line on the top left corner of the screen, and you can see that Citra's not quite here yet. She told us that we should start without her. So I suppose we will, and we will just have Palomino back whenever Citra turns up. So when I suppose to remind those of you, I did put some new hashtags on the advertising tweet, so maybe we're reaching some new people. The story so far, these lovely 5 individuals, 4 of whom you can see on your screen, are all planeswalkers. They work, or at least are associated with all of my words have gone. Are associated with the Grand Archive on the plane of Muzema and its curator, Culver. Culver has hired them to observe and potentially thwart the plans of Sathram Vight, a seemingly disgruntled ex-employee who has stolen the collected history of Dominaria, which was a tome that the archive had, and is seemingly preparing to do something nefarious with it. Sathram has in his employ the personal nemeses of 2 of our heroes. You will see Cassidy, played by Matt, does not particularly like Harzog, the dogman, and Ichin Yin, played by Maxi, you will notice does not particularly like Zai Tao, the nefarious Disney villain-esque genie. Let's say Ginny. Where is my piece of paper? I had like a piece of paper. So there it is. I can cross out. Don't check Discord now because I can do that all I like. I wish. Yeah, just put that there. So at the end of last session was sort of kind of a filler session because we had to stop early and there was a lot of fiddling around trying to figure out where they stood in the narrative. The heroes have already had time rewound on them once, so they know that Sathram is a formidable foe and they have to be careful. But they went and asked the magic mirror on the plane of Eldraine for advice, and now they have found themselves on the plane of Fiora, at the foot of Paliano, the High City, and they are consorting with Solitude's contact Douglas about how exactly they might find Sathram and his cronies. So we will continue on with the narrative in just a few moments. But first, we see a city of sorts. It's not the sort of city that one might see on Ravnica, or even on a plane with more generous urban spaces. It's specifically lit up. It is blazing even during the night. There is a long dusty strip surrounded by the entrances to many things that appear to be perhaps theatres or gambling houses. A couple of places openly advertise themselves as casinos and dens of ill repute. This is the... give me a moment. I did not... This is very embarrassing. I did not write everything down. Yes. Here we go. This is the city of Marlow on the plain of Corrin. A grand, sprawling monument to hedonism. Here you can buy and sell anything. Many things are bought and sold in amazing frequency. Interesting foods, many different kinds of recreational drug, some kinds of shared activity, and gambling. Huge amounts of gambling. Much of the economy of Marlow, in fact, runs on gambling, that doesn't run on the thing of which nobody speaks. And we zoom in to one of the smaller casinos. It's not the smallest. There are many further out radiating from the strip that have more interesting gimmicks to attract their smaller potential audience. But it's a little run down, a little showing its age, and it's not as large as the mega casinos right at the centre of the city. We zoom in to the gambling floor, which is full of strange lights and sounds, of the noises of knucklebones and discs of wood being thrown against velvet. We see bright colours and Art Deco architecture, with large throngs of people making their way through the multi-layered space, watched from on high by an individual in a large, resplendent red, gold, and black robe. And then we proceed further down through the floor into the basement area. This subterranean place is still, one would think, more richly appointed than one would expect of a basement in a casino on Earth, and yet it is very obviously a place that the public are not supposed to go and has not been decorated with them in mind. We find our way into a back room that is even more sparsely decorated, with only the gold and black paint giving any indication that it's part of the same building. There is a table, almost an altar. It is rectangular in the middle of this room, and strapped to that table is a man. A man that we have come to recognize, though he look quite different, as Solitude. And there is the sound of the door to the room opening, and in sweep a pair of those well-robed, resplendent-looking individuals. There is a small woman with a gigantic ruff that sort of makes a halo around her head, and a taller, bald, older man who has an evil glint in his eye. And they step to the foot of the table so that Solitude can see them.
Oh, glad you're back. I was starting to get lonely.
The woman nods. She leans in and she says, "My name is Myriad, and this is Angelo."
I'd shake your hand, but
I'm sure we can forgive the impropriety given the circumstances. We would very much like to interview you, sir, about
I told
what
you.
you saw.
Didn't see anything. Don't know nothing.
We both know that's not true, don't we? You saw altogether far more than we are particularly happy with you seeing. And honestly, I want to believe that it was an accident. But I'm afraid that Angelo doesn't believe that, and neither do the other Viginti. We are all very concerned about what you might have seen. We're also very concerned about the people who were with you, because we haven't yet been able to track them down. They got away from us. We think that some of them must still be in the building somewhere, or at the very least nearby.
Don't know what you're talking about. I was here alone.
You weren't here alone. Moreover, Angelo knows that you weren't here alone because he saw you in the companionship of your compatriots. Certainly, he was the only one to see you, and he saw only you see what you shouldn't have seen, but we would really like not to take that risk.
When we find ourselves at an impasse, because, I have places to be, and clearly we're pushed for time.
What is your name?
Oh, Solitude, but since we're friends now, you can call me Sol.
Very well, Mr. Sol. I'm afraid you really don't figure out yet what it is that we would prefer that the gambling public not know.
How cheap that eyeliner you're wearing is.
It pays to be frugal. No, I'm just wondering if we should tell you. It's not a particularly sensible decision to make, but on the other hand, if we're going to kill you, I would quite like to, because I think it would be funny. And also, I would rather enjoy it. Yes, all right. Well, it's really more that if we're going to tell you, we do have to kill you. But we're probably going to have to kill you anyway.
Oh, you already know I know. Why don't you just kill me quick, get this over with? Like I said, places to be.
You see, that's very funny, because that sort of implies that you don't know. If you're asking to be killed quick, then you don't really understand
one more dead?
that is not the relief that you are anticipating it be?
The hell are you on about?
I think we will tell you, and then we will kill you. I think, actually, I've made a mistake in bringing Angelo in here, because he's not going to be satisfied until he's corrected some errors in your appearance that he appears to have noticed. So, all right, I'll tell you. As you probably know, but don't really speak about, the economy here on Corin is centered around hedonism. And of course, as you've probably figured out, that's nonsense, isn't it? That couldn't possibly work. So there has to be some place where the value is being generated, and most people are aware that this is done with the labour of the dead. That when you die, here, you are raised from the dead as a zombie, there to perform work. You might have heard people blow off their menial jobs by saying, "I'll work when I'm dead." And that's true enough, they will. But I think what people don't know is that it's not really the sort of mindless existence that people might get the shivers about and then just decide is probably not that bad as a use for their remains. That wouldn't work at all. We tried that. We tried being merciful. And then we discovered that the problem with zombies like that is that they aren't reliable. If they don't have any sort of cognitive function, then they don't perform their tasks correctly. So instead, well, what do you think, Angelo? How would you rate it? Angelo, frowns, and then just wobbles his hand a little. Yes, they're moderately intelligent, the dead, you see. And that's what you saw, all dressed up. We had to dress him up because, the rotting flesh and everything that would sort of frighten the patrons. But we were really looking at how intelligent we can make them while still holding total control over them, and whether they could be used as, as operators for some of the simpler games that don't require a huge amount of actual play on the part of the dealer.
I know what I saw, Mariette. I saw the terror in that man's eyes.
Yes.
He's dead, but he's still in there, isn't he?
Oh, well done. You've figured it out. Yes, the intelligence doesn't come from just out of the ether. No. When you die, you go to work. And you know that you go to work. You are still aware inside. That's why the pyramid
Solitude
of,
spits at her at this point.
She ignores it and keeps talking. That's why the pyramid of desirable post-mortem jobs is actually rather inverted from what people expect it to be. You hear people talk about it and they want to be in, construction or food preparation, something where they're occasionally seen doing their bit after death. But those jobs, you see, require a decent amount of decision-making on the part of the zombie, so they're actually quite excruciatingly painful for the trapped inside soul. No, the best jobs, I believe, at last check, were bed linen laundering and guard duty, assuming that there are in fact no interlopers. Because at that point, we can just sort of turn their brains down. It's not quite as painful. The bed linen in particular is just the same thing every day. They just put it in the tub. The zombie does its work, comes out the other end. Zombie never needs to think about anything. So you might wonder why I'm telling you this. This seems like the dark secret on which all of Corin is built. And it is. It's one of two. The other one is, I'm sure that you've had a couple of friends who've, done well for themselves and finally got to one of the big tables to make the great bet. You know the one I'm talking about, where if you win, you become a member of the Vigilante.
It's all rigged.
Well done. Nobody has become a member of the Vigilante for 500 years. And that's exactly how we like it. No, this person bets their life, their youth, against becoming a Vigilante. And, to be clear, if a person were ever to win one of these games, the infrequency with which they happen and the infrequency with which they're won mean that I'm sure we could find a place in the Vigilante for that person, but to date, it has never happened.
Listen, I'm a professional. I knew as soon as I was caught, I wasn't leaving here. And I know well enough my line of business. You're only telling me all this because you want to see me squirm, and I am sorry to disappoint. I am. So if we could just get on with this.
Well, I
and if
think...
while you're at it, you could make sure I'm damn dead, because if you give me one goddamn chance, Myriad, I'm going to track you down.
No, you won't. See, this is the thing, that's only half the story, Mr. Solitude. Yes, I do like it when they squirm on the table, but ultimately I'm telling you this so that you understand what is happening to you when we put you in. Ooh, probably best not to put you in anything that requires you to handle a weapon. But let's say... I know that Angelo here is just itching to strip all your flesh off, and, well, he might go further than he intends, sort of skeletonize you, in which case I suppose food preparation would be the best job for you to take. It's so much more fun when they properly understand what has happened to them and why. I'm sorry, Mr. Solitude, that we couldn't eke the names of your compatriots out from you, but unfortunately I don't have a lot of patience, and neither does Angelo. We'll sort it out some other way. Besides, there's, what, 5 of them? It's not going to be a big deal if 5 people have a vague inkling of the truth that they have to piece together after the fact. We would just like to tie up loose ends. Right, I don't particularly enjoy this bit, but Angelo does, so I'll just sort of leave him to his business. I would warn you that Angelo cares a lot more about the end result than he does about the process, so while he's not going to pull any punches, he doesn't particularly care if you feel pain while he's flaying your skin off. And he would really appreciate it if you tried not to scream. It's just very distracting to an artist.
Oh, of course, I'll do my best.
She turns on her heel and leaves the room, and Angelo begins advancing towards you, carrying his disturbing-looking knife.
It's a nice knife, Angelo. How you say you put it down and me, you get a drink.
You're cut off as Angelo puts his enormous, bony hand over your mouth and brings the knife down to your face. It's around about an hour later when he's finished. He washes his hands of the blood on them and turns to look at you. He scowls and then walks out of the room. You are in excruciating pain, and you are fairly certain that you're dying. The light is fading at the corner of your vision.
Sweet chariot.
And as you lose your capacity to even see, suddenly you feel... What is that? Gas? Something like indigestion? There's a heat at your core that's just sort of growing and expanding.
Carry me home.
And then there's a flash of light, and the room is left empty with no Solitude in it. And you appear on dusty ground. It takes you a little while to open your eyes again and realize that you didn't die. Or maybe you did? Regardless, you seem to have full control over your faculties. You look up and you see a ruined church, or something of the sort. An obvious cobblestone building that has long since collapsed from disrepair, and a dark, clouded sky above what looks to be a completely bleak and featureless dusty plain. It doesn't look particularly enticing, but hey, there's no Virginity. I was going to snap us back to the present, but we still, as of yet, do not have Citro. So I suppose we are still waiting. We might have to continue without her, but we'll wait a little longer. Also, my apologies, Richard. I should actually have asked what the first plane that Solitude went to was, but realizing that I hadn't done, I had to pick one.
That's cool. No harm.
And so I thought, well, you know, another one that you own would be appropriate, I think.
That I own?
Yeah, it's Ballier.
Oh, I was going to say Balia, yeah. Front of a ruined church, climb inside and recover alone.
Mm-hmm.
Something as dead as he is. It's artistic. It's good.
So, yes, that is the story of Solitude, I suppose. It's how he started out on his Planeswalker adventure, and why his face is so fucked up. But yeah. So in the present, you are all in Douglas's hideout, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we've established. I mean, obviously, like we talked about it with Richard behind the scenes, but I don't know that the audience knows just how awful this place is. Like, this is not habitable. Like, I mean, I guess it's habitable, but it's not like livable. It's not.
It's student housing. Yeah, I hear you.
It's worse than that. Like students would not be able to live here for extended periods.
It's student housing, I hear you.
This is basically just like he holds this property because obviously nobody's going to try and squat in it, but also like he likes to have this particular station to keep an eye on what's going on in the low city of Paliano. And I think that all of you were just about to planeswalk back to Culver to report back to her. Is that correct?
That was my suggestion.
All right.
Yeah, we hadn't really gotten anywhere with the mirror plan or Douglas.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think actually you may even have done that. I seem to remember the end of last episode asking if anybody wanted to take the fun route of not spending a minute planeswalking, and nobody did.
We'll get there. Don't worry.
Okay. Depending on how late Citro is, we could potentially say that Palomino got a little overexcited and went for an adventure. But yes, you all reappear in Culver's office. She looks up and says, "So, I suppose he hasn't rewound you yet?"
No,
Solitude just shrugs.
but so we're starting to piece together what's going on, but we figured we'd come in and tell you first.
Well, yes, tell me, please.
So he was on Eldrand. He asked the magic mirror or something. I don't think we figured out what it was. but we know he's on Fiora now. Probably that tall city or something like that.
On Fiora? What could he want with Fiora?
Well, the Magic Mirror did give me the ability to kind of pry in on him.
Oh, and did you?
I tried. I think he might have been able to block it, but I don't think he can block it every time.
Well, perhaps you could try again later then, but I suppose in the meantime we'll just have to try and figure out what he's doing. Fiora? And you're certain it was the high city of Paliano?
As far as I can tell.
Only one thing anyone goes there for, so.
Well, let me tell you what I know. Nobody goes to Paliano, or even to Fiora at all at the moment, because, well, it's a war zone. Sort of. Obviously, Fiora's always been quite dangerous. Murder is legal there, didn't you know? Sort of.
Oh yeah.
There are a lot more contexts under which murder is both legal and encouraged than on certain other planes. But well, its society is collapsing. They have a new queen, and there are a number of factions that have cropped up in opposition to her or to specific other factions that are opposing her. It's concerning. But if Sathram is going there, could he possibly want? This is very worrying, and you don't know what he asked the mirror for.
It wouldn't tell us.
No, it probably
Go
doesn't.
over the book he stole from here.
The book I stole from him?
No, the book Saffron took from here.
From here?
You got a copy of it?
No, that was rather the point. It was an artifact, you see. I mean, we have some transcriptions of things that were in it, but I don't know whether that will help you at all.
Well, I know what sort of thing he was looking for. Maybe I can figure out who in the aura he's looking to see.
I don't imagine that a book of history of Dominaria is going to help particularly with finding somebody on Fiora, but, well, I can have people and the droids here look into the transcripts that we have of the book. I don't think you should concern yourselves with that, though. We need to keep you monitoring Sathram. It's possible, of course, that Sathram is just going to intervene in the fighting, in the rebellion. He always did seem to have an opinion that the archive was too non-interventionist. But goodness knows what faction he's trying to support.
I'm too out of touch with that place to know.
You said he was. You said something about him earlier. You said that he was for like he was against tyrants and stuff like that, right?
Sometimes, and sometimes he was for them. It was very difficult when he worked here to figure out exactly what Sathram's principles were. I think largely he was for accelerating whatever would otherwise naturally happen to a plane. If a plane embroiled in conflict was dying, he wanted us to destroy it, to kill the people there. If it was having some sort of bloody revolution or other conflict that would eventually result in the victory of the good guys, or at least some kind of guys, and a return to vague normality, then he wanted us to intervene to accelerate that. He seemed very much, I suppose, if one were to take it to extremes, to have opinion that because of our ability to view things externally, the Planeswalkers of the Archive should be judge, jury, and executioner. That we should get the boring part out of the way. I have to admit, it made me very uncomfortable. And thankfully, I didn't bend to it, and neither did Kian, despite later revelations implying that perhaps Kian had been secretly doing that a lot more than I'd anticipated.
Well, I'm plumb lost.
Well, do we know what factions there are?
Yes, I can brief you on that, at the very least.
Alright, let's start there.
She stands up and I think pulls a bookshelf behind her out of the way, just sliding it into the wall and revealing a blackboard. She picks up chalk and says, "There are, to my knowledge, 4, potentially 5 main factions on Paliano. But bear in mind, I might have forgotten some. So, at the top of everything," she draws a big circle and puts a crown in it, "you have the Queen. This is, I have to admit, rather a contentious subject, because much of the argument that's being had in Paliano and on Fiora in general is about how exactly Queen Marchesa became queen and whether she is entitled to that position. She has a lot of popular support, despite being quite far down the line of succession from the previous king, who was a ghost and was assassinated somehow. I don't quite understand how that happened, but apparently it did. So, there is also goblins. These goblins are led by an individual called Grenzo, who is also a goblin. Used to be the royal dungeon keeper, but isn't anymore. I can tell you nothing about Grenzo. I have no idea what it is that he is trying to do. Cause chaos, as far as I can tell. What I'm saying is you shouldn't trust him or his goblins.
No offense, teacher, but that's a bit,
I said
Oh.
his goblins. Other goblins, in tow of other factions that you find you could probably trust. I don't know.
Okay, right. We can trust.
I
other
would
goblins,
extend that.
okay.
Like, maybe just don't trust anyone on Fiora.
That's probably the best principle.
Look at me. You and me are working together right now, and I'm telling you, do not trust. And I'm trustworthy for being from there.
Sol, I was almost near calling you Sifu Solitude and looking at you like that, and seeing you as a
I do
mentor
not know what
to
that
me.
means.
Dujon, what the fuck are you talking about?
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Seafood?
Seafood. It's
Fish?
okay. No, Sol, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Oh my goodness.
Yi Ching Yan is gonna shake her head. like really pityingly.
Solitude sniffs his clothes, worrying.
Anyway, additionally, you have Selvala, and she puts a circle and puts a weird-looking hat in the circle. Have to admit, I struggle with exactly what part Selvala has to play in all of this. She's a member of the High Court, as far as I can tell. and possibly a senator. But where exactly her loyalties lie and what kind of movements that she intends to make, I struggle with. She had a degree of alliance that appears to have broken down with Adriana, the former captain of the guard in Paliano. And she draws a circle and puts a sword in it. Adriana is the leader of the Republican faction, let's call it that. She wants rid of Queen Marchesa and of the monarchy in general. It's much easier to see where she lies, and pretty much all of the agitation that isn't done publicly by Grenzo's lot is done by hers. Obviously, a lot of former guards in her faction, so if you run into them, be careful, they will probably be violent. Who else? She taps her head with one of her non-eyed fingers. There's Trest. I rather hope that you don't have to worry about Trest, but it does have its adherents. It's a port city, you see. It has a large elvish population. I believe that there is an ambassador from Trest currently in Paliano. Let me see if I can remember his name. Leovold, that's him. I'd be very careful of him. He likely doesn't wish you any harm, but you will likely be under surveillance. Don't imagine that just because you have allied yourselves with sneaky people in Paliano that you will be completely safe from Leovold's view. Hey! Citro's here!
Hi, Citro!
Hi, sorry.
No, it's fine.
It's fine. To bring you up to speed, because we are in the middle of the stream, Citro, you are all in Culver's office, and she is explaining the internal politics. Who else is there? Oh, you would probably wish... They're the priesthood. They have... Well, they run into a lot of arguments with the High Council. Many of them concern the previous king, who, as I mentioned, was a ghost, who got killed again. Still don't quite understand how that happened. Regardless, they're very angry about it because it has reduced the amount of influence that they have over the monarchy. In fact, I'm not certain that they have really any at all. Certainly, the custody and the council were heavily in conflict. I believe the disappearance of mechanized creatures like my droids from the streets had something to do with the custody. Beyond that, I'm not certain. Obviously, there are other people, but well, a lot of my information is slightly out of date because we haven't really been sending people to Fiora recently. Is there anything else that you would like to know?
Nope. Still lost. If I knew where to look, I'm sure I could find something, but right now I've got eyes and ears in Fiora trying to find any how to hair this guy, but till we see something, I don't even know where to start.
Oh, hold on. The thingy is not set up properly. Let me set up the Discord widget properly so that we can actually, like, somebody's dropped off the bottom. Let's drop the height to like 800. And then it comes back, and everybody, we have all 6 of us now. There we go. She says, In order to figure out exactly which, if any, of the factions Sathram is intending to assist, we would probably have to figure out which, if any, of the factions he believes is going to win this conflict. Because if he's gone to Fiora to be an accelerationist, then presumably he'll be trying to help whichever one he thinks will win.
So, should we team up with the people who are in opposition to that then?
I'm more of a strike by night, small task force kind of person.
Yeah. But, man, if I were going to say who I think he's probably teamed up with, and this is just my uncultured, uneducated opinion, I would say it's probably the Republicans.
What?
It's a possibility. Might also
Probably.
be Grenzo's goblins, given how indiscriminately destructive they are.
Perhaps.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like certain style.
But that doesn't...
I mean, unless he thinks the plane is heading towards chaos, then that's probably what he's doing.
In any
Is
case,
it though?
no, you definitely shouldn't ally yourselves with the opponents of that faction. You shouldn't be involved at all. I'm a little irritated that you didn't come back to me after spying him from afar and instead followed him.
Well, we wanted to make sure we knew
To
where
be
he was
fair,
going.
that now never happened.
Yes, it definitely did. I told you to go and see where he was going and then come straight back to me, and you didn't. You followed him to Fiora.
Oh.
Apparently it's some business as well. I never told you to engage. It's too dangerous. She folds her arms while holding her other arms like up high so that she can look sternly at you.
Well, we did have to know where he was going first. And,
Well, yes, and you still have to know that. Look, I want you to keep surveilling him. Find out what it is that he's doing. We only have an assumption that he's even there to assist any of the factions. It might be that he's gone there to find something.
possible.
He does seem to be drawing resources together.
Is it possible one of these factions has gotten their hands on something maybe he wants? And under the guise of supporting them, he intends to take it.
Distinctly possible. It's possible also that under the guise of supporting their enemies, he intends to take it during a raid or something of that sort.
Well, this is all just conjecture until we can figure something out.
Certainly. Look, I want you to return to Fiora, to Paliano. Lean on all of the resources you can to figure out where Sathram and his cronies are and where it is they're intending to go.
All right.
Well, go.
I will planeswalk.
I shall too.
All right.
Don't rush us. Go.
Yeah. So you all take a minute to planeswalk?
Yes.
Yes.
While Kova presumably tries to pretend we're all not just standing in her office quietly for 60
I mean,
seconds.
like planeswalking visually takes like you're not just standing there. You're actually working to planeswalk, and all of your various visual effects are different. So I think Culver probably just looks down at work again. But yeah, you planeswalk back to Douglas's hideout. He turns around and goes, "Oof, don't do that.
Oh, that's
You
all.
frightened
You
me
gotta
half to
control it.
death." So what did you find out?
Bupkis. I figure Saffron's trying to support whoever he thinks is going to take power in Fiora. Or maybe he's not. Or maybe he's after something. I don't know. I feel very lost.
We'll figure something out.
Well, way I see it, if you don't got anything else, then probably your best bet is just to stay here until midnight when I get more info in.
Hey, D-Man.
Okay, no,
No.
that's
No.
that is worse. It's worse
We-
than when you call me doggy.
You can call him Street Father.
No, he can't. He cannot do this. This is
Loves
not-
being called Street Father.
Absolutely, I do not. I will cause you very much pain if you do this.
Okay, Douglas. Here's the thing. Out of, let's say, the ongoing warring factions, which one do you think has the best chance of coming out on top? You, the everyman, the man on the street.
Douglas chews over the question for a moment. Probably Grenzo,
Krenzo.
on account of how this whole thing is kind of stupid, and he seems to be the only one agitating for, complete destruction of our society and its replacement with utter chaos. So I think he's just sort of incidentally going to get what he wants.
Okay.
That's kind of more of a catty joke than anything, though.
No matter who wins, Grenzo wins, is what he means. It's only
Uh-huh.
that good at Saffron to support. Probably the Trish.
Yeah.
The what?
Trish?
Trest? The
Yeah.
port of Trest with the elves in it?
Yeah, the fucking
Yeah.
sneaky buggers.
They're not even
We
fighting.
no, but they might just waltz in afterwards and take what ain't theirs.
Maybe. Wait, hang on. What did you say?
That's what I'd do. Waltz in
No.
afterwards and take what ain't theirs.
Say that again. What?
Waltz
Yeah.
in afterwards,
Yeah.
take what ain't theirs.
I don't really reckon most of the ones people.
Douglas, what is it?
I do not know. Ask me again at midnight when I have more information, but I have idea about what your elusive friend might be here for. And put it this way, I do not think that he is going to ally with faction.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Who wants a drink?
Sounds like an excellent idea. Any of the rest of you?
Yeah, she sounds like
Huge
a very good idea.
Who's never drank alcohol in his life before, eagerly nods.
I don't know how good it's gonna be for me, but I suppose old habits die hard.
I got something I left in the basement here. It should be well aged. And Solitude goes down and brings up a keg with the name of whatever is supposed to be in it scratched out, and just a really poorly done picture of Solitude's face smiling carved into it.
Aw.
Drink it up.
Wow, that
I think Douglas obviously has only ever known you in the state that you're in now, and is now resigned to the fact that drinking is something that you can inexplicably do, despite presumably being missing part of the important bits of your face.
I'm gonna say I am resistant to poison. I'm not immune to it.
Mm. But I think also, like, in order to drink, you sort of, like, tilt your neck a certain way so it doesn't all just, like, splatter out.
I'm not so good at shots yet.
Yeah, that would be a struggle.
Solitude pours what is presumably some kind of awful rot gut.
Yeah, I mean, they already have, so he doesn't need to be scared of that anymore.
The stronger it tastes, the more he can just about taste it at this point. Probably not the best thing for Dijon to drink for the first.
No, and I think Douglas would actually, like, bat Dujon away from that. And
But I'm a big man. I can handle it.
You heard him. He's a big man.
but a big man is, someone who can handle this maybe. And he proffers this enormous like wide-based bottle of rum. That Solitude is drinking to show off how he basically doesn't need to worry about things that would kill a normal man anymore.
No.
Guarantee you
Tastes good.
that if you were to drink that, then you gon' die.
Well,
I was about to use Cassidy as an example, but as sure as I am that Cassidy can handle his drink, it occurs to me Cassidy is also dead. So, fair point.
I might be.
Is that
I feel like
You ain't
I
ever
am-
checked?
How do you check?
Huh. I guess. Yeah, I guess, like, not a lot of the checks you want to do really
I mean,
survive, it really like let you survive if the answer is yes.
Like, I feel like I am. I'm just really good at faking it.
Huh.
Or I don't know.
Cassidy, when you drink, does your accent go?
I tell you what, nobody's accent goes as much when they're drinking as mine, wee man. Mine goes even when I'm not drinking.
Don't get him wrong. He has been drunk from the moment we got here.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't rather know really. Look, it's not exactly something I feel like checking a lot, so I'm just gonna drink myself to death in peace.
Aren't you late for that?
Solitude raises his glass and he goes, "To death!"
To revenge.
To death!
No, kid.
By the way, so just because it's on stream and Citro has shared something incredibly funny, Citro has just shared a link that says, "Can my horse have beer?" Given that Citro is a centaur.
You need to check if horse can have rum.
No!
I mean, what
No!
what is the answer, Citro? It's not in the image. We must know. I say we must know. We must know. What we must also not do, however, is go on another fucking 20-minute tangent about how fucked up horses are that they exist. Because I believe we've done that for the past 2 episodes, and, like, Palomino isn't going to stop existing.
I just have to Google a lot of important stuff, so we're in the middle of the session.
That's fine. That's better than me Googling it. Probably. As long as we can't hear, like, your keyboard or whatever. I have my tablet, I suppose, so I could.
Well,
Silently.
so Cassidy is not going to drink like the fucking like ridiculous thing. He's going to drink just the rum.
I think Douglas has. I was going to say Douglas has wine, right? Because it's fucking Paliano on Fiora.
Yeah.
Everybody has wine.
Yeah, but like despite him being a vampire and therefore wine being traditional, Cassidy's also from basically Hickland of like the desert world. So he's not.
He's
He
from,
doesn't. He
he's
doesn't.
from the Wild West. Like, that was the point.
Yeah, he doesn't have a refined palate.
Sure. I'm mainly, like, talking about, like, you know, you don't have to get rum off Douglas, everybody else. Like, he has other drinks available. And in fact, I do wonder if, like, this isn't just his wine cellar. Just this abandoned building.
It might be.
They don't have to pay to have it chilled. Great.
No, it's true. But like the good stuff is behind a like secret panel in the wall in the basement, whereas the basement itself, in like old boxes, has these like bottles that are actually full, but with mystery liquid because he just sort of remembers. I think on the inside of his coat he has like a floor plan that describes what everything is, and he just doesn't label anything. So like if people find it, they're just like, oh, his weird mystery bottles. Better not drink this, it might be rat poison. Also, one of them is rat poison.
Why do I keep the poison with the wine? Which one is?
Well, see, he knows, whereas people who find it, they don't know, and they drink the rat poison and they die. He says so far it's only happened 3 times.
So far.
And only twice by accident.
I can just Google, does horse drink alcohol?
Does horse drink alcohol?
Oh, so apparently yes.
Yeah.
You may be disappointed here, Citro. Apparently it is really difficult to get a horse drunk because they have very efficient livers.
I was gonna say, they're pretty big animals to start off with.
Yeah, but apparently, like, even for their size, they have very efficient livers.
Yeah, so...
Animal power activate. Form of horse liver. Now I cannot become drunk.
And apparently many horses love the taste of beer, possibly because it consists of ingredients like barley and hops. Alright, cool. Does Palomino want some beer then? Because Douglas has some.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think he'll want. I don't think that Palomino actually eats hops and stuff.
No,
I mean, he's...
It's a revelation.
I mean, he's gotta be a vegetarian, right? Like,
Yeah,
presumably his physiology can't handle meat, but I don't know because he's got room for a horse stomach and he's got room for a human stomach.
I mean, like, I assume centaurs have like teeth like ours. Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Are we really going to go from canned horse drink to do centaur eat meat?
So I think let me like world build a little here. I think the way that this works is that a centaur can and does eat meat, but because the horse body can't process the meat, all of that has to be done in the human body, which means that only around about a third of a centaur's, like, basically centaurs would have a lower like meat intake per like square footage of existence than a human being would have, because like meat is for special because it has to be like processed in the human half.
I'm gonna say centaurs are always depicted with bow and arrow, and they aren't hunting carrots.
It's true
Yeah,
enough.
you know, fuck that shit. That fucking true though. That do be true.
Mm-hmm.
What if they are hunting carrots?
Well,
What
then
does it say about carrots?
Big fucking
It's
dire
true.
carrots.
It's true.
Dire vegetables took my whole family. Is this Palomino's backstory?
No, Palomino's backstory is that he was abandoned by the Selesnya and brought up by the Izzet. Like,
Because vegetables kill.
So, what I'm hearing is Palomino's pet project is the giant living carrots.
I don't know.
Wait.
You see just like Palomino with 2 electrodes just putting into a carrot. You go, live.
Nah.
Hello.
Citro, thoughts on deadliest vegetable?
I feel like the real questions are like, can centaurs be sick? And if centaurs can be sick, can they only sick up stuff in the human stomach or in the horse stomach?
Oh no.
Well,
oh,
see,
no.
I feel like the phrase coming out of both ends applies, doesn't it? Like, I think if like the horse half gets poorly, if you have bad vegetables, it comes out the backside. Whereas I feel if you eat bad meat, it comes out the front side. You know?
I guess.
Oh boy.
You're listening to
Centaur
Game of
again.
Bards.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've been like thinking about trying to get hold of like like different thumbnails for each of the episodes so that people can tell them apart in like playlist and whatever. And I briefly considered, rather than like anything from the actual game, having the second episode be illustrated by a depiction of my description of a horse as an adult human-sized baby making it entirely of fireworks.
Jesus. I'm never picking Centaur again. This is my official announcement.
You did get to play a centaur, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what booze does Dujon bully out of Douglas?
I think probably some pretty hard-going whiskey. Like,
Yeah, I think Douglas probably decides that with all of that monk discipline that you ostensibly have, you might be able to handle some hard whiskey. And if you can't, that will be an important learning experience.
Fantastic.
As opposed to just like drinking whatever like Solitude and Cassidy are drinking and fucking dying.
He's like, oh, Daddy D, I really trust you. You're really looking after me.
No.
Yeah, if you call him Daddy D, he's not going to give you the whiskey.
So that's a non-starter. Got it. Okay.
That's why you gotta
The whiskey Daddy D.
No, don't call that either.
We'll keep working on it. We'll find a nickname.
I honestly really would prefer that you did not keep working on it. If that could possibly be arranged.
So you're saying we've got it at Daddy D? That's the perfect one.
No, please keep working at it if those are the choices.
Cassidy is fucking cackling at this point. He's like, oh.
Okay.
Does I Ching Yin drink at all?
Yes.
What does she request?
What do you get your little paws on?
I guess now we have to Google can fox drink beer.
No, we're not.
He's a fox ghost. It's
I've
fine.
already made a definitive decision that she can drink.
Look, if Isabella can hard slam whiskey, our wonderful fox spirit can do it.
Here's a question.
And I feel as though like that needs to be the energy of I Ching Yin, like drinking, of just like sitting there really cute and elegant, beautiful, and just smile on her face, and just this power move of give me the hardest stuff that you have.
Drink the gut rot. Drink the gut rot.
Yeah.
Here's a question about I Ching Yin.
I Ching Yin.
I Ching Yin. I Ching Yin.
No, you don't pronounce the Y. It's I Ching Yin.
I Ching Yin.
Close enough.
Fuck. I am trying.
Just listening to Joey learn French.
I know you're trying. I know you're trying. It's okay. It's fine.
Okay. Does on the bottom of her paws, does she have little peats?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
That was like pulling teeth to get to that one, like, largely irrelevant, cute question.
See, this is the thing. I've wanted to ask that question for 3 sessions now, not knowing the answer. But I'm glad I know now.
How could you possibly play any kind of a fox spirit at all and not have toe beans?
Okay, something I need to establish. When Maxie describes I Ching Yin as a fox spirit, she does not mean that she is a fox and also a ghost. She means that she's like an inspirited person of the fox. Like, I Ching Yin is a tangible entity.
Yeah.
No, yeah, we understand
Once
that.
again, you're listening to Game of Bards, your number one horse digestion and animal food live play D&D.
No, this bit is important. Don't come at me with. It's important because we're describing the characters to those who might have missed like the first few episodes.
Anyway, yeah, she has toe beans.
Oh, fantastic.
What did you say that she drinks?
I'm having like the hard stuff.
Okay, nice.
Solitude's barrel of solitude brew.
When you say the hard stuff, do you mean the hard stuff that Dujom is having, or the hard stuff that Solitude is having?
I'm gonna go with Solitudes.
Okay, make a Constitution save then.
Oh, should I have made that?
No, because you're dead.
I'll make a
Yeah, we haven't
constitution save as
established
well.
quite how dead is Cassidy. He's like close.
You're sufficiently inhuman that like drinking the fucking. Okay, so Dujom is fine with the hard
Yeah.
whiskey, but
Yeah, that's a 19.
the stuff that I Ching Yin is drinking is stronger than that.
Okay.
It's not really for mortal consumption.
I was a 23.
Okay, you manage to gulp it down. It burns, but it doesn't appear that it's going to do any lasting damage to you.
Whoa!
And once the caustic sensation in your throat resides, the aftertaste is actually quite nice.
Fox ears flutter.
Tastes of juniper berries. That's the thing that foxes eat, right? I think. I don't know what foxes eat.
No more questions about animal diets.
Please.
At least in Minecraft, that's
Yeah, but I was like, that's the only information I have to run on, because otherwise I'm like, I Ching Yin eats garbage, and that's not correct.
That's correct. Drinking it right now.
I suppose, yes, apart from the extent to which this scene is I Ching Yin drinking garbage.
Next game, Raccoon Spirit.
But yeah, so I guess you'll like wait, have a drink, and wait in Douglas's hideout for midnight when he will be contacted by his informants.
Monsters occur at the night.
It is exactly midnight when there is a knock on the door, and Douglas moves over and like pulls the slat back. He looks for a moment, and then he shuts it and opens the door, and in comes a hooded woman who can't be more than 17, who's just wearing like rogue leathers all over. You can see that she's got soft shoes on as well, presumably for running across rooftops. She says, "Right, huh. Who are these people, Douglas?" Douglas goes, "Aye, come on, lass. You've met Solitude, and these are his friends. They're all, like him." She goes, "Right. That explains why
Howdy.
that one guy is like a horse."
I would ask, but you did not see any of us.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
don't wish to announce my return.
Absolutely. Right. Wow. Douglas turns and says, "You all right, Ariane?" "Yeah, it's okay. I was in the high city. I ran into some monarchist guards. I only just got away." Right. Well, we want to know if you've seen a. Can you describe him again?
Cassie will describe the person we're looking for.
Well, I think before you described Harzog because like Sathram isn't very, like, you know.
Yeah, he'll describe all three. He's seen them all.
Ariane nods and says, "Yeah, I've seen them. Didn't realize that's what they were at the time. It was dark, but that must have been it. Remember, I almost missed my jump because I was craning my fucking neck to see them. They're in the high city, and they're going to the council building. I think
Records,
most
history,
probably.
figure.
Yeah, but also artifacts in the basement."
Huh.
Douglas nods. As we thought, they'd be travelling under cover of night so as not to be noticed. And also there's fewer guards on that building since the council got put on permanent hiatus. That was not a particularly popular decision with the populace, I've got to be honest. Well, if you want to catch him, then you should probably go there as quick as you can.
Everyone on me. If this turns into something physical, just tell Kova I did it. Let's go.
I mean, honestly, it makes more sense if she thinks I did it.
Okay, tell Kova you did it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not gonna argue.
have you met me? Come on. We haven't known each other that long, but I literally ran into a room and punched a dogman in the face. Like,
Twice. I hear you.
Twice. I 100% do not give any fucks.
Right.
Everyone ready?
Yes.
I'm ready.
Give it a moment. I think Michael's coming. He can be your guy.
Oh shit! I'll be in the basement.
Saul,
Yeah.
it's fine. Like, he's fine now. He's chilled out a lot.
Okay. I'll have
Also,
my face a little.
he knows the secret way up one of the columns into the high city, so that you don't have to use the main entrance.
Okay.
I mean, I know it as well, but I'm not going out. Ariane seems to need to
wouldn't
catch her
it?
breath, so Michael's your best bet.
Well, thank you, Dougie. Oh yeah, I do. I
Yeah, you
promise.
do.
I mean that one. Just this one. Once.
Do you know what, Saul? Do you know what I would really like?
A
Just
hug? Is it a hug?
no. It's for you to not fuck this up. Just, get in, get out, find your dog man and his friends, deal with them if you need to, and make sure none of it comes back to me. Because it's all very well for you planeswaddlers or whatever, but some of us have to live here full time.
I hear you. Bring you back something nice. Oh, hey, Michael.
Douglas puts his face in his hands. Yes, climbing in through the window is another man dressed similarly to Ariane. He looks a bit older, like in his mid-20s. And he says, hello, hello, Solitude.
Hello, Michael.
Douglas? Yeah, Michael, can you show Solitude and his friends to the secret pillar entrance? I suppose. The animal people might stick out a little bit, though.
Nay.
And, well, the other two are pretty strangely dressed.
Sam from the wilds.
If you have a spare outfit, I'd be happy to change.
No, I think it's probably best that we aren't seen at all until we absolutely have to get above ground.
Sewers.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Sewers! I love sewers!
Michael looks at you confusedly.
Have you ever been in a sewer?
Yes.
Have you ever been in a sewer in a big city?
Yes.
When?
When I learnt that I could planeswalk, I kind of bippity-boppity booped around the place, and one of those places had a big sewer in a city.
Well, you heard him. He's a big man and he likes the sewer. Let's go.
Yes. Perfectly accomplished and qualified as far as I'm concerned, so let's go! Michael descends down the stairs in the shack into the basement.
Down we go.
Just before we all leave, I nudge Cassidy and I'm like, watch him. Don't take your eyes off.
Okay. I feel like we can probably skip over there being some awkwardness between you and Michael about how exactly to get Palomino down into the sewer.
Grand horse, go into.
No.
Michael explains that there won't be this problem at the other end because there's actually a pretty lateral staircase out of the sewer. But here, the entranceway is down a short ladder with a big ovoid hatch on it. And while Palomino will fit through the hatch, he will not be able to climb down the ladder.
God, I regret everything. I regret everything.
I feel that there's probably some sort of solution devised involving chucking a mattress down the hole first for him to jump down onto.
Do not break a leg.
Yeah, Palomino, if you break a leg, we can't
Cassidy does have a crossbow and he will put you down.
Pull the trigger, Cassidy.
Oh, you're back. Where's Palomino?
Not anymore.
It's his birthday. I've got him this cake.
He's fucking horrendous. He's fucking dead. Oh man. Oh
God.
This is so good. Good cake.
Stop, please.
Fucking hell. I just minded my own business. I thought, we're gonna do a game of Bards. I'm going to play a race I never played before. I'm gonna play a centaur.
Well, next time you'll just play an undead cowboy like everybody else.
Yeah.
This is why I'm never allowing centaurs as a race you can play in any of the settings I create.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, either you leave them out of a lot of stuff, or you have problems like this.
Centaurs are the entire croaker.
Anyway, you do eventually get Palomino down into the sewer. The sewer itself does not smell great, but it doesn't smell as bad as you thought it would. Michael attributes it to the infrastructure largely being well cleaned, mostly because a lot of the sewerage workers are monarchists, and they're really proud of their sewers. Michael says he doesn't really understand it either, but that's how it works. Also, he says a lot of the sewerage workers like to work at odd hours simply because of the same reason that you are all down here, because it allows them to get out of the way of the nighttime fights between the factions in the city.
And the turrets.
Well, they seem to prefer the turds to the fighting. is what he's
The
saying.
third to therefore.
Yeah, the turds don't fucking stab you.
Mm.
Right. Well, I suppose let's get going.
From here on out, just voices down. Noise carries in the sewers.
Michael nods. To be honest, we're probably going to have a hard enough time with your friend's feet.
No, she has little toe pads. It's okay.
Michael gives you a withering look.
Did not miss you, Michael. Let's...
No, Solitude, I didn't miss you either. But let's go.
Actually, I have
God, more than it should have done.
Actually, I have a plan. Cassidy is going to like take a really thick blanket and just kind of like slice it up a bit and just like ask Paliano, is like, if we can we like bind your hooves a little bit so you don't make as much clip clop noise.
Oh, like little cloth horseshoes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, my plan was just to bang this coconut together as a distraction.
Where? What?
What's a
There you go
coconut?
again with your weird fancy foreign words
I'm
again.
gonna turn into a fox and start patting your head.
So we're stealth mode engaged.
It's more along the lines of like I Ching Yin like does not wish to get her robes filthy.
Mhm.
So it's like I'm just turning into a fox.
Thankfully, as a warlock, I have prestidigitation, which is the greatest thing of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a very versatile
But-
spell.
The important thing is that we've put the centaur in stealth mode.
Sure, I'm going to say that works. It allows you to be
It's-
vaguely stealthy as opposed to like
The point
everybody
is that
being
you
able
don't
to
have
hear you.
disadvantage on stealth checks now.
I don't know that would even be disadvantage on stealth checks. I feel like if I were in an enormous cavernous sewer like the one in London or whatever, and I heard like clip clop coming down it from like a fucking mile away, I would know exactly what was going on.
It'd be like,
I'd
you'd
be like,
you'd be like, there's a horse in the sewers. What the fuck?
There's
no,
a
the
horse.
fucking devil is coming for me. The devil is in the sewers.
There is a horse in the sewer. It's never happened before. Nobody knows what's going to happen next, least of all the horse.
For Palomino.
I fucking knew when Citro, my dear friend, went, I'm gonna be a centaur. I was like, we are gonna spend every single session joking about horses and centaurs and how this works. Like, I just knew, and I went, she needs to learn for herself. It's the only way. She's
Thank God we're not climbing around Zendikar.
God.
God. I
I
for real
don't know,
never thought
thank God
to be this
Thank
much.
God we're in some sort of MC Escher plane. Can you fucking imagine?
Oh no!
Or that one bit in Labyrinth where it's all staircases? Nah.
Oh,
No.
can horse walk upside down?
Can horse survive in an MCS illustration? Oh shit.
Multiple staircases is horse hell. You have been
That's
told
gonna
about
be
it.
good.
Actually, yeah, it just, yeah.
That's what
Like,
horse hell looks like.
welcome to Horse Hell!
I've put an image on the stream because I feel like if I at some point did not acknowledge the existence of this image during this conversation, people would be mad in the comments.
Pretty much.
Anyway,
Oh.
we're in the sewers and we're getting a move on.
Yeah. You are getting a move on. The sewers are a maze, but Michael knows the way, so you don't really have to worry about navigating your way. A couple of times he like stops and like puts his fingers to his lips. His finger, not his finger. He doesn't just like smack himself in the face. He's like, and it emerges that there are interlopers passing by in the sewer. I think one time it was goblins who were carrying torches and who Michael thought would probably off to cause mischief in Grenzo's name. And another time it appeared to be monarchist guards who were investigating something. Michael thinks that they might have found a dead body. But eventually, you make it out of the sewers and up the stairs that Michael promised would be there. And you make it to a little street just below the base of one of the grand columns that holds the actual high city of Paliano above, up in the clouds, basically. Michael walks up to the base, frowns at it, walks counterclockwise a little around it, and then puts his ear to it and starts knocking with his wrist. With his fist, I mean, not his. That would be weird. Yeah, he's just seemingly trying to find the secret entrance, while the rest of you just sort of watch.
I feel like people have kind of noticed that, like, Cassidy is kind of like hunched low. He's in predator mode. The mode that all hunting. I just saw the horse. I just saw the image.
I think Dujon like crouches down next to Cassidy and goes, "Hey, Cassie.
Yeah,
How are you doing?"
I am extremely thirsty. How are you doing?
I'm good. Hey. Maybe this isn't the time to be asking this question. Maybe it's a bit personal. What's gonna happen if you like never get to kill Herzog?
Oh, I would devolve into a mindless beast that slaughters anyone in its path and drinks their blood.
Cool. Just checking.
Although, with the ability to planeswalk, I might become quite a scourge. So I think it's in all our best interests that I get my revenge.
So, like, why? Why does that happen?
Oh, Curse of the Vampire.
Duchamp nods like he understands, but in reality, he does not.
Yeah, well, it was this or death, so, you know.
Hey, Michael, how's that dialogue coming?
There's a click, and Michael disappears into the column and says, "Come here."
Quietly.
Little fox skitter.
Cassie like spider climbs his way in. It's really
soft dance-like steps across the...
Can you imagine a centaur with spider climb?
Oh!
No,
I don't want to.
it's like
Does the horse bit just like rip off and you become a drider temporarily?
Oh, God.
No, it was like that. Somebody,
No,
I think
like,
there was like a green text or something about this, where like a group gave their pack ponies spider climb with a potion in order to get them to cross a chasm. But first of all, they couldn't convince the ponies that they had spider climb, and then when the potion wore off, they couldn't convince the ponies that they didn't have spider climb anymore.
I love it.
I mean, I think it's... I'm imagining spider climb as just him clinging to the walls.
I love it.
Like, there's no transformation at all, it just can't do it. Oh boy.
Yeah.
There's probably...
For those of you watching at home, Richard has posted in the chat a very good meme about a centaur riding a centaur mount.
It's very cursed, actually. I don't like it.
It's like this is the same energy, but more pissed of how does a centaur wear pants?
Yeah.
In any case, this would not work because the entire reason why a horse is a rideable entity is that a horse, the skeletal integrity of a horse is stronger than the general weight of a human being. That's why you can't ride zebras, because they don't have that. Like, a centaur on a centaur would just be an atrocity.
I mean, as
a
well,
centaur on a centaur is how they reproduce.
Yeah, but like not.
I mean, centaurs do have to mount each other if they want to make new baby
Yeah.
centaurs. You know?
It's not an atrocity. It's natural.
Yeah, but that doesn't look like either of these images.
Look, we made it 3 sessions without a centaur sex show, so
This
I'm
is the
very
new
proud of it.
evolution of how fucked up horse bodies are. Is centaur sex jokes.
I'm very proud of us as a group.
It's like that thing where if you have an argument for long enough, you eventually call someone a Nazi. If you do Discord D&D long enough, eventually you reach centaur sex jokes. Yeah.
Right. It's true.
Is it? Yeah, it's true.
Anyway, so yeah,
Quality entertainment, everybody.
Michael leads you into the column, and you find that the column is very, very wide and has a very low-slung staircase in it. A staircase that spirals around the column itself, but is like shallow enough that Palomino shouldn't have too much difficulty climbing it. That does, however, mean that the staircase seemingly goes on forever. And Michael explains that this is a service staircase, and this is not, generally speaking, how people get to the high city. But because it isn't that, nobody checks it.
Fair enough, I suppose. Let's get going.
I'll lead us the rest of the way.
Alright.
It's not far to go. Stay close, move fast.
On we go.
Yeah.
Okay. It probably takes around about an hour to climb to the top of the staircase. Like, you're climbing up into the clouds on a very shallow staircase, so it's going to take a while. Sorry. Citro posted something in chat. Clouds. And you find that the streets up there are actually much the same as the ones directly below the high city. Obviously, the low city has a lot of cruddier places. But you know, it seems that the closer you get to the high city, the nicer the places are, and once you come up on the edge of the disc, it's much the same. There are a number of taller buildings in the distance, though, and Michael points towards one of them. Says, "That's where you want to go."
Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, thanks.
You?
How you're getting in, I've no idea. It's not my business. Just go there. That's where you guys gone. He says, "If the hatch is left open, people will get suspicious, so I'm gonna stay here until you're done. Or until morning,
Okay.
and I assume that you've been captured. Whichever comes first."
Well, see you before morning, Michael. Come on.
Okay. You travel in secret through the streets. I think occasionally a light turns on in a window, and you all have to like flatten yourselves against a wall. But you eventually get to the huge council building, which is an oddly shaped building. It's mostly square at the front, but it seems to have a diagonal juncture at the back. And then there's this sort of like bulging, like semicircular construction out the back end.
Well, right. How am I going to pull this one off?
It has a pair of double doors at the front.
Oh, we just go in. It's not going to be well guarded.
He just kind of like gently like takes it and tips his hat and gestures after you.
Solitude will try the door quickly to make sure it's not locked.
It is locked.
Solitude will unlock that down door.
Okay. I'm going to say you can unlock the front door. I'm not going to make you roll for that. I am going to make you all roll a group stealth check because it's going to take Solitude a little time to do this.
$25.
Everybody else?
21.
Oh shit.
Uh,
You know it's good when there's an audible oh shit.
Sorry, would you say 20, Maxi?
Yeah.
Cool, that's majority success.
Oh, thank
So you all manage to stealthily remain while Solitude opens the front door. You step into a 15-foot by 15-foot square room that is obviously some sort of like lobby. It has a nice carpet. It has some nice wall hangings. There are a couple of like side tables that seem to be clear of anything at the moment. There is a door in the wall nearest the front of the building to your left and to your right, and a much less impressive and like noticeable door directly ahead of you.
Any lights?
No, there are no lights. The building seems deserted.
Well, who needs light to see?
Cassidy, can you do that?
Actually, that's a good question. Who
Magic.
does need light to see?
I don't.
Oh, I possibly do. I hadn't considered it.
Hello?
Hello?
hello.
Oh
Hello.
god, everyone went really quiet for a minute.
So, Dujon is a human, and as such will need light to see.
Oh, I didn't think about this when I picked human. Fuck.
I'm
Maxi,
dead, but I am a human.
Maxi, does each Yin need light to see?
No.
No? Okay.
I can do that.
At some point, you're probably going to have to like share the race kit that you're using for each Yin, maybe at the end of the campaign or something. Especially like given I'm probably going to have to like do a dog race for Harzog.
One of
I-
my infusions as an artificer is being used for night vision goggles, so
Okay.
Palomino can see.
And
Can
Would-
borrow if anybody needed.
Would
needs it
spy
for-
kit reasonably contain some form of night vision?
No, that would be a little bit beyond the capacities of the spy kit, but it might
Fair.
contain like a
Could be blunt,
little teeny like candle. It would have to be small to fit into the spy kit, but yeah, you could have like a little teeny candle.
It's a tree.
Alright, well, there are presumably windows for the moment, so we can make it as far as we can before we have to light anything.
I mean, it is
Move quick.
it's 1 a.m., so like the windows aren't really helping that much. especially since you're up in the cloud layer.
Dujon will just snap his fingers and his fingertip lights on fire, and it's a little torch for him.
Tiny candle.
Yeah,
Let's go.
because that's something Dujon can do.
Basement. Look for anything that looks like it's been touched. Door ajar, dust disturbed. Look out of place. Keep your eyes open.
I guess we should I guess what, roll investigate?
Well, what are you looking for?
Any sign of movement? Any sign that somebody's been through here? Sign of entrance disturbed? Anything?
Okay.
And also
sure.
the entrance to the basement.
Roll investigation.
Who?
Yes, who? Nominate one person, because we're not doing this shit where, like, I call a roll and then you all
Cassidy's got the
fucking-
night vision.
Alright, I'll do it.
Sure.
Alright, give me a moment. That's an 18 total.
Okay. What could I let you find? I think if you get real close up to the door on the other side of the room, you find that it says basement stairwell observation on it in very small letters on a little plaque.
What was that again?
Basement stairwell observation.
Oh, okay. Looks like this might be a good place to start.
Is that door?
I feel like 100% that Solitude's got the little candle, right?
Yes.
Like Cassie's eyes do like that terrifying like gold eye shine thing that like cats do.
Do you want to take a look?
I'll be right back. And he just heads on down.
Wait, what? Heads on down what?
Oh, the stairs that you said.
I didn't say there were any stairs. I said the door on the other side of the room leads to the basement stairwell observation.
Oh, okay. Never mind. So all I heard was the stairwell part.
Okay.
Okay. Well, it's like this thing leads to the basement observation. I guess we could start there.
Poke your head in and see what you can see.
I will do so.
Okay. The door is locked.
I gesture Solitude over, just go like, this is locked.
I will attempt to unlock it for him quickly and quietly.
Okay. This one is more difficult, so give me a dexterity check with thieves' tools.
Not 20, which is like a 31.
Okay. You just jimmy the lock open pretty easily. You're not even certain how you did it. It was so quick. The door opens into a 10-foot long room with a chair and a latticed window on the far end on the right. The window is very small and thin, but it's directly in front of the chair. There is also, I think, a button just like on a little like sideboard in front of the chair. There's this big red button.
I instantaneously like make sure Dijon is within my field of view.
Dijon is
Master
actually
boy.
needy from Dexter's lab.
He's like, "Ah, Dijon, don't press that button."
Why? What does it do?
I know what it's gonna do, but the problem is that we're trying to be sneaky.
I wasn't even thinking about pressing it before, but now you said don't press it.
That's a lie.
I really have to press it.
Do not lie to me.
No, I wasn't even thinking about it before.
I-
I wasn't really paying that much attention to my surroundings, but now that you said there's a button that I cannot press, I really want to press the button.
Well, you're not gonna, because you are the master of your own destiny. Also, if you do, I'm gonna chop your arm off.
Mm.
I think that's when you pulling his arm back to his chest.
I mean, I'll put you down, I swear. Don't do it. Oh my gosh. That's the other two.
Dusham
The
will-
most 6. I know what I'm doing.
Dusham will get near the button, but he won't press it.
You see, like, Cassie just, like, slowly reaching for his sword.
I'm not gonna press it. I'd like to investigate the button.
Okay.
I hate this.
Investigate it for what? What are you trying to find out?
To see, like, if I know what it does, if I can ascertain, like,
It's a button.
what mechanism it might be attached to or something like that.
Okay.
Because, like, if you look at a light switch on the wall, for example, generally,
Might be
like,
little.
that's probably for that light over there, 17?
Okay. Underneath the panel that the button is on, you notice a sort of glass encased little line of gears. Like there's a little metal bracket, and then inside that little metal bracket there are some interlocking gears running down the wall from the panel, and they have like a glass plate over them. And you realise that this goes right down to the skirting board, and then it runs all the way over to the doorway, and then at the doorway it goes up the wall again, and you see at that point that it splits into two, with like the cog having like two other cogs on it, and one of them disappears into the wall itself, and the other one goes straight into a bell that you hadn't noticed, like some sort of mechanism attached to what looks to be a bell that would ring very loud and with very high frequency, if the mechanism were activated.
Looks like it looks like it's a doorbell.
That's odd to have in this.
Wouldn't normally it just go off on its own? Wouldn't you just, make that like a tripwire or something like that?
It is strange.
Dujam is going to go up to the bell, see if he can stand on anything.
You could pull the chair over.
Yeah.
I think you could stand on it.
Okay, cool.
Okay, you do that.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a little bit of noise, unless you pick it up.
Oh, I'll pick it up. I can pick it up. I'm a strong boy.
It's not a very heavy chair, also.
Yeah. I stand on the chair, and I take the ring bell mechanism.
But I don't know what. It's not.
Tinkering?
It's sorry. What?
Tinkering?
Yeah.
Tinker.
Yeah. Like. I guess. I mean, what does that come under, though?
I mean, I think it's intelligence, at least for...
Yeah, no, I think this would definitely be an intelligence check, and I don't know if there are any skills that you can add here. Potentially, you could use Tinker's tools, but beyond that, it's probably just an intelligence check.
If you want to bring a whole ass horse there, I do have proficiency in belts. I am a horse.
Couldn't I just, use my elemental archetype to just like, I don't know, melt it off with
No.
fire? Like I just like heat up the link. Although I guess that would be heat metal, wouldn't it? So
Well, I mean, do you have heat metal?
I do not have heat metal. No, I don't get spells. I get moves that I can use. So
Okay.
this probably is a tinker check.
Yeah, which is an intelligence check that can involve Tinker's tools.
Okay, that's not great. That's an 8.
Okay. I think probably you decide that you don't want just to grab the clapper and pull, because that's not very sensible.
No.
So instead, you attempt to unscrew the clapper axle and pull. And what you discover is that most of the bell is in fact supported from the clapper axle. So in doing this, you bring the entire bell down on your head. It makes a very loud noise, and also you hear the crunching of gears.
Ow, fuck!
Oh, shit.
In other parts of the building, you hear a high-pitched dinging noise sound out.
Dejan! And he just he takes out his hand crossbow and is pointing it at your head.
Hey!
Can
You
I
said don't
move
press
to
the
disable
button,
that?
and I didn't technically press the button. I was just trying to disable it. It didn't go well. Ow.
People are just tugging his head. It's I'm gonna kill him.
Can I move to disable or disarm that as quickly as possible once it goes up?
I mean, in the most technical sense, yes, but how were you thinking of doing that?
Fuck if I know. There's got to be something I can disconnect the bell from to stop it.
Well, I mean, you can't see the bells that are ringing because
No, but I've heard.
Dujon has successfully disassembled the bell in this room, so the other bells are elsewhere in the building. The gears are also not turning anymore, which implies that the bells themselves don't require that in order to function.
Okay, stealth's gone. Let's go. Move into the basement, everyone now.
Did Dujon manage to actually detach the bell, though? Did
Yes.
he
It fell on your head.
Yes,
Fantastic.
it fell on his head.
He tucks it under his arm and he runs with it.
Okay. For all that Solitude said, everyone into the basement, you don't actually have a route into the basement yet. You can see into the stairwell that goes down to the basement, so you know, roughly speaking, where the stairwell is, but the window is too small to break and, walk through.
Even if... stealth's... So think with me.
Sorry, what?
Stealth's gone. Think with me. Stealth's gone. The window is small. Can I charge into it to break it?
Break the
Open?
wall.
You could, but the window is only, large enough to put your arm through. It's not,
Oh, that's a very
Can
tiny.
anyone break the wall?
Does anyone have any explosives?
I kind of feel I
Can't we
should.
just head out the oh
Hmm.
well. Let's see.
Should have asked for a floor plan.
All right, let's figure it out.
Surely we can tell where from the direction of the stairs we can see where, in relation to us, the top of the stairs would be at least, and just go out and around that way.
Oh my god! I just looked at my character sheet, and guess what Palomino has?
What?
Spider climb.
Yes, good.
Wait, seriously?
Seriously, I don't know what the fuck.
Cool. Well, that will make things. That will actually probably really help in an upcoming part of this campaign.
Yeah.
Dujan presses the fucking button. They already know we're here.
It causes the gears to grind again, but nothing otherwise changes.
Oh, fuck. Thought maybe it might open a door or something like that.
You're all still like piled like in and outside this tiny room.
Cassie's gonna get out of that room.
Okay.
See what other things we can do.
You're back in the lobby. The other doors are to the east and west. They're right up close next to the wall.
Let's try these doors then.
I did not prepare for actually drawing you a map in real time. I probably should have had a Roll20 thing or something set up, but since a couple of our players are on mobile at the moment, it's not really a possibility right now. Which is actually going to make a particular dungeon maybe quite difficult. But yeah, you can just hear the ringing of the alarm. But there is a door to the east and west. The door that you've just come out of that went into the little room was to the north, so you know that the stairwell down to the basement is directly north of you currently.
Up or down?
What do you mean?
So you said there's one going which way?
There are doors to the south, but those are just the doors outside. The main doors are the one to the north, which goes into the little observation cubby, and doors to the east and west. You know, because of the observation cubby, that the stairwell to the basement is to the north of you.
Okay. So I guess we're gonna head that way.
How do you mean?
All the things I don't know where we're trying to get to.
Does anybody want to fill him in?
What?
Does anyone want to fill Matt in on where you're all trying to get to?
The basement.
Oh, alright then. I guess we're gonna head down the stairs we found in the basement.
You don't know where the stairs are! Please listen to what I'm saying to you!
We can see stairs through this tiny window in the observation room, which is the stairs observation room, but we can only see a very small section of them. We do not know where the actual entrance to the stairs is itself. I would assume, since we can see a bit of the stairs, we can tell, oh, they go that way, which means
Yes.
you gotta go that way to find the top of them.
That is a good idea. I will tell you that the stairs are to the immediate, the stairs downwards are to the immediate right of the window, they go downwards there. So you imagine that probably the entrance to the room containing the stairwell is somewhere in the west of the building. And I say to the west of the building, I mean west of you currently, as opposed to particularly west.
Well, start trying doors like a fucking Scooby-Doo montage. Let's go.
Sure, why not, I suppose.
Okay. Which door? You have an east door and a west door.
West.
West it is, I guess.
Okay. You come into a long hall with portraits of many people who you presume are councillors of Paliano. There is a door far to the west, and on the long side there are two doors to the north, one at each end of the room.
One of those presumably leads to the stairs.
Let's try them both and see which one they lead, if there's any, immediate ideas.
Is one of them eastern?
I mean, one of them is more eastern than the other one, but they both lead north.
The east,
I
there's
guess
a
we'll
one.
try that then. The
Okay.
east one, yeah.
You open the door and you come into another long room. This one more of a hallway. It has some nice looking vases on plinths. There is a door at the far end from you to the north, and there is also a door right next to you, which has a little plaque on it that says stairwell access to basement, unauthorized access is not allowed during day hours.
That
All right, well.
But it
we didn't
says
get this
that,
far.
you know, in the way that an actual human being would formulate a sentence as opposed to me having to, like, think of that. It uses actual
you
words.
underestimated how awful we could make this experience for you.
Mhm.
Alright.
I rush to the door and see if it's locked.
It is. It is locked.
Fucking.
What's with these
Well,
people and locking their doors at night?
So what now?
will I roll to unlock it?
Yep. I think you can... This is another one that you can unlock, but I need you to make a dexterity check to unlock it, which will determine how long it takes you to do that.
15.
15. I think that means that it will take you approximately a minute and a half to unlock this door. But when you do, you come out into a very sparsely decorated room, which seems to curve around the observation room that you were in earlier. And sure enough, if you go around the corner, you find the stairwell down into the basement.
Starting to feel like we haven't seen a sign of them. Don't know why there's so many locked doors between us and them. I hope we're not in the wrong fucking place. It's all getting more and more stressed.
It's the only plan we got so far, so might as well keep on going. Who knows? Might come across something on the way.
Rush down them stairs, yo.
Okay.
There you go.
Like putting all thoughts of stealth to the wind then?
I thought the alarms were still going off.
They
Stealth-
are,
stealth-
but alarms doesn't necessarily mean that somebody would hear you coming down the stairs. In fact,
That's
to be
stealth.
honest, alarms would probably mean that people would be less likely to hear you coming down the stairs.
Yeah.
Stealth.
Yeah, I'll
Yep,
stealth.
stealth I will as well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, you roll for stealth then. Roll a group stealth check if everyone's stealthing.
Ooh, actually, have skills at this. 18.
30.
21.
Yeah, that's
25.
majority success. So you stealthily make your way downstairs, and
15.
You are not seen or heard. But by the time you reach the bottom into this enormous like trove of mechanical and otherwise opulent treasures, you just see the faintest spark of a planeswalker disappearing.
Oh no.
Hmm.
What a
Hold on. Let's see if we can figure out what they took. Because I have a suspicion that they probably took one of these weird things. Let's see if we can figure something out of where they took it. I'll look and see if there's like any like kiosk or a safe or anything like that where like something was and it's no longer there.
Do you want to roll investigation then?
Yeah. Oh, that's actually not bad. 22.
Okay. It is pretty easy to see what they took. How
Awesome.
they took it is another matter, but you know what it is that they took. Because there is a section of the wall that is completely bare and is surrounded by like a bunch of, you think like sockets or something like that. Like that seemingly have had something that was attached to them ripped out of them. Some of them at the top are like sort of bent downwards, almost as if like the thing was ripped downwards. But the thing that astonishes you is that the object that must have stood here was like 25 meters tall.
That's a lot of feet.
That's like 2 Palianos.
The sparks in the air, I can see where they left from.
You could see, but they'd gone by the time. You can see that they were here and they left, but you don't know where they left to.
Is there some way of getting a sense from like anything left behind? Is there like some planeswalker bullshit from a slightly off canon novel?
Do you want to like give me perception or investigation? Your choice.
That is a 23 perception.
Okay. You hear the noise of something. Something in the great piles of treasures here.
Something.
Like a sort of like whirring and clicking.
From in here, or
Yeah, from somewhere in here.
I'll look for the source of it then.
Struct is. You've seen them before. Culver is mostly using them to run a lot of to run most of what's going on Muzema now. And this is like actually some kind of horrible looking thing because it vaguely looks like some sort of like metal insect. It has like a bucket where its thorax should be, so with a sort of like square impression in it or rectangular thing, and it has like spiky like front legs with like little hooked pads on them that seemingly look almost like tongs. And it goes.
That can't be good.
Nope, don't let that. Hello, you.
The thing puts like one of its sort of like hooky tong hands to its face and goes shh.
Okay.
Quiet, please. Can I help you?
Do you work here?
It looks around. Possibly. Memory inaccessible.
Some people were just here. They stole something from you.
Yes.
Do you know what they took?
Yes.
Can you tell me what they took?
Yes. They took the coercive portal.
Huh.
And what's that?
Accessing data. It reaches backwards and pulls a scroll out of a socket in its back. And you notice it has 6 of these sockets, but only 2 of them have scrolls in them. Accessing data. The coercive portal is a device created for use against the custody if Paliano society were to break down across political and religious lines.
Well, shit. I don't suppose you heard any of them talking about where they were going.
Affirmative. The coercive portal, I am not finished, is a device designed for trapping ghosts and other spirits. It was very large. I considered it improbable with a high rate of likelihood for misapprehension that they were able to abscond with it, but the evidence is insurmountable.
Thank you. You've been a great help. I motion to anyone who hasn't noticed me talking to the big metal insect guy.
You asked a question. I apologize for not answering it. I was in the middle of another data fetch, and I am currently not able to perform parallel requests due to damage.
Did they damage you?
No.
Oh, sorry, I'm overloading you.
72% likelihood that I have been damaged due to neglect.
Okay. I think when hearing that, Palomino is going to check on him, see if there's something he can mend.
Motherfucking artificer!
Sure. Is there like a check or something you can do for that?
I can cast mending. Usually that heals a lot of robots.
Okay. Well, why don't you cast mending then? Which I presume, given that you're an artificer, involves you just like actually mending the thing.
Yeah.
But in like a magic way.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So the way that heals the... So you don't have to rule. The way that heals, for example, the Steel Defender is by 2d6 hit point.
Okay. I think that would 2d6 hit points. Roll your hit points.
Okay.
I don't have hit points for this thing, but I want to make a decision based on how much you roll.
I rolled 3 and a 4, 7.
Okay. I think you are able to restore the Cogwork Librarian's ability to handle parallel requests. So now, if multiple people ask it a question, it won't get confused.
Feel any better?
I am now operating at 81% mental capacity.
Good boy. This is a cantrip, so could I cast that more?
No, I think you've done all that you can for the librarian. You're not going to be able to fix its lack of data because that appears to be related to materials that you can't reproduce, like it's missing the scrolls out of its back, for instance.
Yeah. I like how it fetches data by literally fetching. It's cute.
It says, "You, sir, you asked the question if I heard them speak of where they were going. I did. The one that was a human, or resembled a human, I should not assume, spoke of traveling to a place that I do not know, called Zerex. The exact quotation was, "Now go and check that we are not being followed. I need to shrink this thing quickly, and we need to travel to Zarex as soon as possible." He was then interrupted by the sound of an alarm elsewhere in the building.
Oh, shit.
The librarian heaves. It seems to be like trapped under some of the junk and not able to properly move around.
Look, this is the best lead we've had. Just have to figure out where that is.
I am afraid I cannot help you with that task. Feel free to peruse the tomes of the library for assistance. If you can find the library. It looks around, seemingly distressed.
Oh.
Can we take this thing back to Muzema with us?
Can you? I don't know. That's a big philosophical question.
Oh.
Because you have to answer. Does it count as a living creature? If it does, you can't bring it. But if it doesn't,
what would happen
maybe you
if I
can.
tried?
Well, nothing bad. Like, you would try to planeswalk, and then if it counts as a living creature, you just wouldn't have it with you when you arrived.
But I got a library for you. And then I start to planeswalk, taking
Okay.
him with me.
This is our child now.
Look at my son!
During my minute of planeswalking, I want to be like, you got a name?
Well, I am the librarian. A title is all that is necessary. I do not have a name.
Libby.
Libby.
You guys
Hmm.
want to go beat Michael? I'll meet you back at Douglas's. Or you want to come with?
Sol asked you guys a question.
What was the? I didn't hear the question. What was it?
Oh, sorry. Do you guys want to come with me to Muzema, or do you want me to meet you back at Douglas's? You can head back and meet Michael.
We should probably at least tell Michael that. With the sound of the alarm, he's probably scared off.
Didn't
Oh, he's definitely not waiting on this. He left the minute
Oh,
we
then
did.
whatever. Then
Yeah.
let's just get out of here then.
didn't the librarian say something about a different plane? What was it called? Zilia or something like that?
Zarex?
Yeah, Zarek.
Why can't we just travel there?
Because we don't know what it is or what it's looked like. We might be going into a trap.
I never heard of the place. Call him out.
Can Alexa? Can we just go
No,
to Zarek?
no, you don't know where Zarex is.
Also,
Plus, call us just to report back.
Right, back we go.
And we brought a gift.
Okay. I presume everyone's taking the full minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think, actually, no, you know what? I'm going to say 30 seconds in, you hear the noises of, like, jackboots on the floor above.
Oh.
Oh.
Cassidy will just go.
Okay. Anybody else? Or are you going to
Yeah,
chance
do
it
I'm
on
gonna
the
take my
full minute?
time.
Yeah, Dujob's just gonna go.
Richard, what did you say?
Solitude will take his time.
Okay, Solitude will take his time. And Solitude's taking Libby.
Eating Yin will take her time.
Okay.
Palomino too.
Okay, but Dujom and Cassidy are gonna. Okay, so
They panic and fuck off.
30 seconds is 5 turns, which means that everything below 50 will get you to your destination. But do you want to roll D100, both of you?
Okay.
Find the D100. There we are. 34.
Okay, no problems for Dujon. Dujon is in Culver's office suddenly, ahead of everyone else.
28.
Yeah, and Cassidy too. You both got lucky.
Dujon puts the bell down.
The rest of you, though, you hear like boots on the stairs in the final 10 seconds before you get ready to planeswalk, and you see like guards like run around the bottom of the stairwell and point excitedly at you just as you disappear. Those guards, I think, will remember your faces and appearances, weird as they were.
That's
I mean,
I imagine
yeah.
they will probably struggle to
Mean.
convince other people of the veracity of their claims, though, until they
We
see you
saw
again.
a horse, man.
we saw a horseman and he
And a
disappeared right
deadman.
before our very eyes.
And a zombie all colluding, and they disappeared.
And
they
they
took
took
our
our librarian.
I'm telling you, the animals and the undead, they're in it together.
Stealing our technology.
Those guys are losing their fucking job.
No,
Or
Yeah,
they just don't
yeah.
say anything.
you don't
They took our
understand.
machine and our robot.
You don't-
Vow of silence amongst all these guards, like, if anyone asks. Or nothing.
Is the librarian with
Yes, the librarian is with you.
I sort of stole this, but I like him.
A perception malfunction. Please,
Yeah,
supply new data.
you are in a place named Muzema. It's a very big library, and if you like, you are very free to work here.
Muzema. It would be validating to work in a library again.
Culver?
Culver says,
Can we keep him, please?
I suppose. I mean, we'd probably have to do some sort of background check first, but I don't see why not.
Thanks, I owe you one.
I see. What did you find out?
They took
Oh,
some
right.
of the coercive portal.
The what?
Coercive portal.
Coercive? Coercive
Coercive.
portal.
Yeah, whatever. They took that.
I don't know what that is.
Neither do I. But we brought
well-
the person who does.
Look at him, earning his pay already. Go ahead, explain what the coercive portal is there.
Coercive portal. A cogworker device designed for potential use during a hypothetical war between different factions on Paliano, the High City. Designed to trap ghosts. Intended for use against the custody priest class, many of whom are ghosts. The object
Well-
was very large, and I was skeptical of the interloper's ability to purloin it. However, this appears to have happened.
Well, thank you, Libby. As you can see, they took a ghost trap. And they went to some place called Xerex.
Oh dear.
What's Xerex?
Confusing.
Oh dear, good, right?
Well, I don't know. I suppose, well, there's good news and bad news. The good news is, I'm pretty certain I know why Sathram has gone there. Although, what he hopes to achieve by doing what I know he's going to do, I'm not certain. The bad news is, I don't think any of you are going to like Xerex.
Why?
Xerex is... how shall I put this? Xerex as a plane does not conform to what we would call traditional ideas of gravity, of relational, physics. If that makes any sense.
No, it just makes me hate it.
Is it called stairs?
There are lots of stairs, yes.
We found Centaur Hell.
But there are. Here's an example. There are double types of stairs. There are.
Centaur Hell.
How she like goes to the blackboard again and draws a staircase, and then on the underside of that staircase, going up in a curve, she draws another staircase, and then she draws a person walking down the top set of stairs and another person walking down the bottom set of stairs in the opposite direction, such that the bottom person is upside down compared to the top person. And she says, that.
Oh, this should be fun.
That happens all the time on Xerex. It's a very confusing plane to navigate if you're not a native.
How do we get there?
And she says, I think I have a drawing somewhere that I could show you, and then you'd probably be able to get there.
Well, I suppose my last question then is, Kova, what do you think he's trying to do there?
It's there.
So your friend Libby here said that he took a device for catching ghosts?
Yeah, well, there are ghosts in this place.
Oh yes, violent ones.
Well.
Very dangerous ghosts, in fact, and lots of them, especially in the burial caverns.
Yeah, well, I think we figured out what he might. Wait. Man, it's gonna suck if he catches a whole army of ghosts.
Pretty cool, though.
Not great when we're on the side that's gonna be hit by it.
Still pretty cool.
Well, I suppose imminent death is probably cool to you. Anyway,
I don't know if I could become
as best you can, and we'll head over because we should probably not waste time with this one.
No, you probably shouldn't. She I think probably beckons you out of her office and down to a door a couple of doors down, where she unlocks it with a key. I feel like you've been to this room before. This is where she keeps all of the impressions of Oops. I save that. But yeah, she looks under X and she finds Xerex, and she shows you an image that is more or less like this. And I've just realized I put that on the stream, but I didn't put it where you guys can see it, so give me a minute.
Is it the centaur riding another centaur image again?
It is not the centaur riding another centaur image.
But instead of centaurs, they're stairs?
No, what the fuck would that even be?
Bad stairs.
A stairs.
Bad stairs.
I don't understand what you said. I feel like you just said that to try and be jokes.
I said things. I'm not entirely certain what I said.
Not you. I couldn't hear at all what you said.
Me, the clowny one.
I said it's stairs riding stairs.
To be clear, you are both the clowny one, which is what gave me pause for putting you both in this campaign. But thus far, it's worked out pretty well.
You heard the DMs. Step your game up. Take the clown cry.
I totally can. Let's see how fucked up I make this image by, like, chroma keying it.
Can I just say it's astounding to me that in an absolute vacuum where we did not know each other and you've had pause for putting us in the same game, we both came in with undead Westerners.
Yeah.
It's true.
But very different, like types of undead, like
different
American-
flavors,
yeah.
different flavors. You know,
Yeah, one's bone flavored, one's blood flavored.
it's one's made cookies and cream, the other one's made birthday cake flavored ice cream. It's good.
It's birthday cake.
It doesn't matter whose birthday cake. It was a metaphor.
No, I need to know. Which one is the birthday cake flavor?
Cassidy's cookies and cream.
Yeah, I figured I was the birthday cake.
Oh, it's this fucking plane.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like this chroma key is. Oh, I know. Does that work? Oh, that works. Sure, I can like just about chroma key out the edges on the stream.
How is this a plane? Who lives here?
Yeah, people live here.
How? Why?
Because they fucking. It's all right for you hoity-toity planeswalkers, but a lot of people in the multiverse have to just sort of live in the plane that they live in.
But like, how did humans evolve onto like? Why did we evolve into like living on a plane that does not?
I don't know. I kind of feel like the question of why there are humans on basically every plane is like something that may not be compatible with a multiversal theory of evolution. Might well be that humans come from somewhere else.
I have an in-game.
You have a what? Sorry?
I have an in-game question. I also think I spoke over Citra.
No.
Okay, well, let's queue you
I
both
was
up.
goofing, so it's okay.
Bone Daddy about. Maybe stock up. Just how bad are these big bad ghosts gonna be, Culver?
Culver strokes her chin and appears to be so deep in thought that she presses. Xerex is not the harshest of planes, but there are areas that are very dangerous there, and it would appear that you are venturing into one. Yes. Go and see
Sure.
Bone Hunter and see if he has anything of interest for you.
All right, so I might be new here a bit, but I'm gonna have to get like a flat confirmation on what his actual name is.
Bone Hunter, sorry.
No, that's in character. Cassidy saying that.
Oh, his name is Bone Hunter.
Okay.
Sorry, what? Did somebody else call him something else? I've sort of like.
Everyone's been calling him Bone Daddy. It's been.
Oh yes. Don't do that to his face. He doesn't like it. He had a really horrible experience with a vampire who looked like a child.
Ah, well, I suppose I'll have to redeem vampires in his name.
I don't know that he particularly dislikes vampires, honestly, but well, be on your best behaviour.
Well, I'm also not a child, so it's, I suppose it probably.
Yes, that already helps. I just realised that. Could you all hear my phone vibrate? Because it was quite close
Yeah,
to the
Just
mic.
now, yeah.
That means that the stream probably heard it as well. I'm sorry, stream.
I'm sorry for having access to technology.
I will put my phone on Do Not Disturb.
And now like a school child caught with a note, you must read out the text. No.
It wasn't nobody fucking texts me, so I can't even like do that.
I know. Yeah. No, normally when I'm like, oh, did I get a text? And it's not.
Yeah, it's mostly
not,
like Facebook and Twitter notifications.
Or it's Animal Crossing Pocket kept going. Your furniture is now complete, and I'm like, thanks, Animal Crossing Pocket Cam.
I'm pretty sure that it was a Facebook notification about this New York Post article about how Roger Stone thinks that Bill Gates invented the coronavirus to microchip people.
Yes. Obviously, that's what happened.
I don't understand how Roger Stone got the position that he did in the US government, because the act of looking at the man convinces you that he is a Batman villain.
Roger Stone. Not Roger Stone.
No.
Roger Stone. I'll be able to tell you exactly which Batman villain he is.
It's probably Penguin, but I'm sure if there's a more, obscure one.
Penguin. Yeah, Penguin. Yeah, it's Penguin. That's Penguin. That's fucking Penguin. I mean, if this don't say Penguin, I don't know what says Penguin.
He even had the
Donny
fucking
DeVito?
different Penguin energy to Danny DeVito, but not completely dissimilar.
Like.
We should stop
This
talking
image
about this
has-
because I'm not going to put an image of Roger Stone on the stream. People can
No,
look that
no,
up in their
but
own
that-
time if they don't know what he
Oh
looks
my
like.
Image,
God.
That's Penguin all the way down, just like Penguin.
Cast the guy. Fucking put him in a movie. What the fuck?
I mean, no, he doesn't need the money, but
He is also in prison. Like, he went to fucking prison.
yeah, he's in jail.
He, in fact, did, like, actual supervillain crimes.
He did a crime. He's a real supervillain.
Yeah.
It's sad because in real life, when real supervillains do crimes, they either get away with it or they just go to prison like normal, and then they get out and they just commit more crimes. There's no we don't have a Batman or a Superman. We've just got fucking normal people trying to do the fucking best.
I mean, to be honest, what we have instead of Batman is, like, the thing that insufferable nerds want Batman to be, which is, like, a judicial arm that just fucking executes people.
Yeah, it's the closest thing we've got to fucking like Wonder Woman is fucking legal. We've just got.
That's such a strange comparison for you to make. Okay,
It's true though.
let's move on. We have already spent too long on Roger Stone, all because my phone vibrated too close to the mic. So yeah, are you going to visit Bone Hunter?
Yeah, let's see Bonnie M.
You can't. That can't be Dujom's nickname for him, because in universe that doesn't make sense as a nickname.
Shit.
This-
Okay, let's see.
This is a
Bonnie
multiverse
M.
where Boney M don't exist. It's a very dire place.
We can change that.
We can become Boney M.
That's one of the most terrifying things you've ever said, Beth. I mean, I'm aware that based on what happened in the last campaign, this version of the Magic the Gathering multiverse does include Kairi Sane as a character in it, but we can manifest Boney M is like, where are you going with this?
There's just certain man in Russia long ago. Anyway, yeah. Let's
Nobody
see
knows
Bonnie
where
M.
Russia is. You can't even start with Rasputin. You would have to
I know,
choose one of the
yeah.
more generic songs.
Daddy Cool probably works pretty well. I
Yeah,
guess.
probably.
We definitely can't do the Christmas songs.
No. Unless you somehow manage to get into the Universe. I think they have Christmas. Because of all the like holiday cards. Anyway. So yeah, you're gonna go and visit Bone Hunter?
Yeah.
Let's see Bone Daddy.
You go
Stop.
You go to his door with the cow skull on it.
Hey, Boney.
You want to keep going with that?
Knock, knock.
I will use
The door
the
opens.
horse skull as like a knocker.
Okay. The door opens and the door you see Bone Hunter, who says, "All right, How can I help you?
Now, I know before I say this, they ain't got bones. What you got for fighting ghosts?
Fighting ghosts. What sort of ghosts?
Ghosts.
Yeah, but it's going to change my answer depending on what sort of, like, where are you going to fight these ghosts?
We're going to place.
Some place full of stairs. Xerix.
Oh, Xerix ghosts. Oh, they're nasty pieces of work. Let me think. By the way, I saw like a fucking article that was like, oh, the Australian accent developed because it was like an English accent, but they were always drunk. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? They're bloody Cockneys. The two accents are almost the same. Like, just lots more people live in London in England than anywhere else. So a lot of the people who were transported were from London and had Cockney accents a lot of the time because they were, working class. That's why Australians sound the way they do. So the point is, if I start like drifting into the Australian accent while doing Bone Hunter, I'm sorry, but that's just how the world works.
He can be Australian. It's fine.
He's not though. He's a geezer. He's a wheeler dealer. Like that's Bone Hunter. Bone Hunter's probably like going to go back into his like rooms and start like rummaging through his stuff. He says,
I slapped John's hand away from something.
It was probably in his pocket, and he just looks at you like, what the hell?
I could read your mind.
I'm not doing anything.
He says, are you looking for stuff that will help fight the ghost? I'm asking.
Well, I can't speak for everyone, but I personally would like to stab a ghost.
You would like to stab a ghost?
Yeah, I have a bet on with someone.
Well, this is amazing. But I do actually believe that I have something for you. And he reaches into a box and pulls out a like a leather glove, kind of like yours, that has some sort of weird construction at the bottom of it. And he presents it to you and makes a show of like curling his fingers on one hand down towards his palm, and then on the palm of the glove he presses a button. And you're not entirely certain what happens. It's just the sort of like you know the wavy effect of smoke above fire?
Yes.
Like that appears in a sort of line above the glove, but then disappears again. But it was sort of like it had hard edges into a point. He says, "Ghost Fireblade."
Bone Hunter, you are incredible.
It's never been an item before, so you may have to work out the details with the DM later. But
of course.
should work fine for you.
Can I throw that?
He says, "Not this one, but I think I might have something else." He seems to be offering you empty air, except it's not empty air. It's like waving, and occasionally you see fire lick across it. And he goes, "Ghost Fireblade, but less exciting. It's just the blade. It's a bit bigger.
Very exciting.
I don't know what you'd call this. It's like it's not quite a machete. It's too small, but some sort of knife."
Well, that appears to be a ghost fire stiletto.
No. It's got like a curved blade on it. You know, a big thick thing, kind of like a
Kukri?
maybe like a kukri. Yeah. Anyway, that's a ghost fire blade for you. You can definitely throw that one.
Thank you very much.
Any of the rest of you have any idea what you might like?
Well, I don't suppose you have any crossbow bolts that can hit ghosts.
I'd like those too.
Crossbow bolts. I'm not sure. Give me a moment. He says he like I think he's probably like going and looking in his stuff again.
Every so often, I think, I Ching Yin's been very quiet, and then I realize,
Yeah, that's kind of the point. And he says, don't think so. If it's Zerek's ghosts you're going after, though, they're sort of semi-tangible. Which means that
We're fine?
Yay! I wouldn't say fine exactly, but you should be okay.
Ah, fantastic then.
Yeah. It's just I'm trying to think if there's any way that I can increase your damage output to account for all of this, or give you some sort of other protection. Oh, I've got an idea. He's like scrabbling in boxes again, and then he pulls out an object that you recognize as a sort of like some sort of ornament. It's like a sphere made of like metal, and he holds it up and he says, "Witchbane orb." Couple of those like ghosts. They can cast some real nasty curses on you. This should protect you.
Oh, fantastic.
Anything else? Anything else? Oh, actually, this might work. And actually, I'd be quite interested in you coming back to me about whether or not it does work. And he produces a sort of like weird glowing sphere with a ring pull in the top of it. The glow of green inside on the runed edge sort of puts you on edge a little. He says, "Have a try with that."
I'll try this out.
That is, it's just an explosive apparatus. I don't know exactly what it's meant to do, but it affects the mind and the spirit a lot more than the body. So I was thinking that since they mostly just have those. Now, anybody not have a present yet? Dish them all out between yous, and tell me if any of you don't got anything, because I might have a couple more things. I'm not a bank, obviously, but I've been to Zerek's. It's not a particularly pleasant place. I want to make sure you get home safe.
Oh,
I think he's given you 3 things, so there'll be 2 more. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. He produces a weird, like, oblong glowing stone. He says, "That should be a sort of, like a last resort to get rid of any undead near you. But it'll only work once, so you got to be careful. And then there's this. He tosses up a strange gold cylinder out of the box and catches it. The Sorceress Spyglass.
That looks useful. What does it do?
Well, it's real simple. As long as you spy the ghosts from afar, and then you can just, you gain some protection from them because you can understand how they function, how they work, and you know where they are as well. You can keep track of them.
Solitude is side-eyeing the glowing little rock.
Mm-hmm. He says, "Oh right, yeah. Yeah.
We'll just stay out of the radius. It's fine."
Yeah, you two are probably going to have to.
Bless you.
Look, like I'm saying, it's destroyed when you use it, the totem. So you should probably only use it as a last resort. And if you're going to do that, kind of seems like everything's gone to shit anyway. So.
No, it's cool. We'll burn that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Well, I think that's really all I can do to help you. Is there anything else you wanted to ask me?
No, that sounds good.
What did we ever do to deserve you?
Well, very little, honestly. But you sort of got grandfathered in on account of there were a bunch of other people at the archive who did do quite a lot to deserve me, so... all of your kicking about with the quiet woman, Solitude, I'm kind of hoping that some of her skill, and worthiness rubs off on you.
You and me both.
Yeah. I'll let you know when she comes back, but I think she and her husband are enjoying their time off. I don't know that any of this is an emergency yet.
Right then, Centaur Hill.
Hey, let's go.
I Ching Yin, just gently pat Palomino.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I'm prepared.
You are. Look, I don't.
Charlie looks at him in the same way as just like, you're a good kid.
Yeah, this is gonna really suck for you, Palomino. But if it helps, you could probably. So I have an idea. You're good with machines, right? Like artifacts and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've got some plungers and I think I can work something out.
Serum infusion, just you put suckerkins on, you just put 100 things on your hooves. Fucking hell, I hate that.
Slop, slop, slop.
Slop. So here's my plan, right? Whatever they're doing with this portal, they desperately need it, right? Can you, fuck up how this portal works? Just get in there and just start pressing buttons, pulling levers, do whatever you can to, fuck it up, because it looks like you're going to be the one who's going to be able to get that portal out of the way.
Might work, yeah.
Fantastic. So
Oh!
it doesn't work. He doesn't have a horse face. The whole joke falls apart.
Can we please not reference stuff that's in the private chat too much? Because people on the stream have no idea what we're talking about.
I'm sorry, it was just automatic. I read it. Oh no.
They're trying to do the hey, why the long face, Palomino? But it's like Palomino doesn't have a horse face.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
That's like half the joke.
Mm-hmm. We can send
It's only half a horse joke.
Mhm.
Right. So, let's go to Centaur Hell.
Mhm.
I'm just
Okay.
imagining that the Welcome to Robot Hell song from Futurama
Yeah, I am as
playing. It's
well,
just
yeah.
Centaur.
Right.
Here on level 1 of Centaur Hell.
And I think that is where we're going to leave it, with you all planeswalking away to Centaur
Centaur
Hell.
Hell.
And by I think that's where we're going to leave it, I mean I haven't actually finished the Xerex dungeon yet. Because it's difficult to think about in my head. And I need some time to actually like put it down on paper and like get it to work out and maybe 3D model it. I might need to do that. I'm not certain, but I'll sort something out. It'll be ready for next time, I promise. So yes, thank you for joining us on session 3 of the game of Bards, Friends of Muzema. I think a lot more happened this session.
Can we call this session Centaur Hell?
No, because
No,
I feel like
Centaur
next
Hell
session
is
is
the
Centaur
next
Hell.
one.
Yeah. This is on the road to
This is
Centaur
Centaur
Hell.
Inconvenience.
Yeah.
This is
I feel like-
can we keep it?
Yeah, could we
Oh
keep
yeah,
it?
yeah.
I feel like a lot of this has been Centaur Hell. It's like personal vendetta. We got stairs and stealth and 3D stairs that go upside.
The funniest thing here is that Palomino actually has a pretty decent stealth. It's very
Does it-
dexterous.
is he one of them
Proper horse.
horses with the very like floaty gait, like the very like
Maybe?
God, I'm so happy about
Leaving.
like I love Cassie just like casually mentioned Dejan's like, yeah, if I don't kill Harzak, I'm gonna turn to a ravening bloodthirsty beast, and you're the first person I'm killing. So
I'm just like cool.
Was Dijon supposed to be slightly drunk in the sewer?
Nah, he's just always like that.
I mean, it would make sense because he just got done like drinking hard whiskey.
Yeah. He's buzzed, but he wasn't like pissed. Like he was like, you know, he just wanted to see how his friend was doing.
I liked it.
well, thankfully, like thing is that like Cassidy has a while before his time is up because he's getting close.
Yeah, Cassidy. I don't know. I feel like Cassidy has a little while yet before he turns into a slavering beast.
Yeah.
Especially since he was probably like reinvigorated by briefly having his revenge within his grasp.
Yeah. I feel like the de-evolution thing is kind of a more of a mental thing.
Yeah, I think the physical changes come later, sort of as a result of the mental ones. There are
Yeah.
probably like nightmares on Lorado that look very much humanoid because they're very new.
Yeah, and it's like he's like I had like he died. I had his blood in my teeth. It was there, which means I can do it again.
Okay. So yeah, thank you all for joining us on the Game of Bards. We will see you again next Friday, assuming there are no other problems. I'm actually going to check. Is there an artist credit on there? Is. All right. So all of the cards from Magic that I've been showing that are actual cards have artist credits on, and to be honest, all the ones that like I show on stream that are custom ought to have artist credits on. So that shouldn't be like too much of a problem as long as you're at a high enough resolution. I really wish I had a pipeline for like showing images on stream, but like OBS doesn't handle that sort of thing very well if you don't know what the images are ahead of time, and like I don't really. It's not a thing I can do. So yes, next week the gang go to Xerex. And I have to like somehow figure out how this fucking dungeon works. So I'm looking forward to that.
You've
did
got
this
to
to
make
your-
a
You did this
seance
to
on
yourself.
Escher's grave.
I've got a what? Sorry, Citro?
You've got to go to MC Escher's grave and seek
Absorb.
guidance.
Oh, I was going to be like, absorb his power.
Yes.
Very good. Okay.
I'm not saying I know this for sure, but I know for sure that MC Escher is definitely buried in Central Hell.
No, he's buried in Barn,
Bar.
which
That's
is
where you gotta go.
which is in the Netherlands. It's near Utrecht.
Was Escher Dutch?
I think so. I'm not actually sure. Let me look him up.
He's
Yes.
actually
Yes.
buried there too, but he designed the grave himself, so.
No, he's Dutch.
He's Dutch.
He's
him,
Dutch.
He's Dutch. Good for him.
That's good for him. Oh my god, this bitch is Dutch.
I love how like every single every single visual obsession that he had in his art was just like, haha, wouldn't it be fucked up if like even even hand with reflecting sphere, which is quite possibly the most normal thing he ever drew, is like, oh, it's really cool when light bends on like bent reflective objects.
I remember in my I think it was my year 8 maths class, our maths teacher was obsessed with MC Escher, and a load of those pictures just like all around the room.
I mean, Escher's fucking cool, and like in comparison to a number of other I guess legendary artists, his work is like conceptually interesting enough that it's reasonably easy to get children to actually engage with it.
Yeah, and it's like if you're a
It's
maths
not
teacher, it's
survival
like
fan
this
art.
is art I can enjoy because it's math art.
Mhm.
But it was really I'm pretty sure I've got ADD and it's been undiagnosed, right? Like I'm pretty sure.
I will remind you that we are still on stream. I feel
I
like
know.
the after stream conversation probably is not something that the viewers need to see. So I think we're going to say goodbye because we're on like 3 hours and 10 minutes now.
But anyway, long story short, I always found it really distracting, and I could never focus in maths class. So there you go.
Oh, fair
I
enough.
was always
Actually,
looking at MC Escher. Yeah.
no, that's a mood. That is a mood.
Now
Actually,
the stream will think it's a much darker secret.
no, because I didn't end it. Because
Oh, okay.
she's right. So now everybody knows. So it's okay. It wasn't a dark secret.
Now all of China knows you couldn't focus on math for shit because of your kind professors
I
interest in
think,
art.
Yeah.
I think.
I'm going to end the stream before we reveal any actual deep dark secrets. So goodbye, everybody. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye.
Goodbye from Beth and from our friends Matt, Richard, Citro, and Maxi. We will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Stay
Bye.
inside. Wash your hands. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Ye, and I cannot emphasize this enough. Huh.
Aw.